In this video, I'm going to talk about what teens with functional neurological disorder, short for FND, can do to manage their symptoms during the holiday season. So let's get started. Hi, my name is Dr. Ali. I'm a pediatric health psychologist and the founder of an online group coaching program called Teen FND Academy. I have helped so many teens with functional neurological disorder, short for FND, that includes non-epileptic seizures, functional movement disorders, and what have you, and their parents learn practical skills and strategies so they feel empowered to resolve the FND condition on their own. As a result, they feel like normal again. So in this video, the holiday season is coming up. And at the time of this recording, it's actually really cold here in Colorado. It didn't snow just yet in town, but it was very cold. But anyway, let's talk about what teens can do to manage their FND symptoms during the holiday season. But first of all, what is FND? Once again, FND is an umbrella term to describe this cross-wired problem between the brain and the body, even though your child's brain and the body are physiologically and structurally, quote unquote, A-okay. It is a real diagnosis. Your child's not making things up, and I'm pretty sure you know this by now, but it's more about the message for the doctors who are adamant in insisting that teens are making things up. They're not. It is a biopsychosocial problem. It's not just one thing that is causing the problem of FND. And compared to adult who's got FND, statistically speaking, teens, you have much better chance of getting better from FND, meaning completely be done with it, as long as you start working on it quickly and taking the right approach. So why do you even need to prepare for the holiday season? Well, I can think of a couple of things. One is, well, first of all, you're going to be out of routine. Maybe your kid is going to school and there's no school during the holiday season, so things can be a little bit out of whack. Maybe you're traveling, going out of town, or maybe you're staying local, but then your family members are visiting. All of these things can be possible, right? But what are the consequences of not preparing for the holiday season? Well, I can think of, again, a couple of things. One is sometimes teens do experience setbacks with their symptoms if they don't prepare for the holiday seasons. And because of the potential setback, some families I have known tend to cancel their plans. So forget the traveling. Okay, you cannot visit us this time, so we need to be isolated completely, kind of thing. I mean, which is helpful in a short term, mostly for you as a parent to reduce the anxiety of the potential catastrophe of your teen having a setback. However, this can cause kids guilt, frustration, resentment, and just disappointment. There's nothing wrong with it, again. And I'm not saying, oh my gosh, don't even think about canceling everything and just keep going, go until you crash and burn. Well, that's not really practical either, right? However, if you don't prepare for the holiday season and you are basically canceling everything and staying sort of like hibernation dormant, then the real consequence is this. Teens don't get better from FND if you keep avoiding the thing that might flare up or cause or having setbacks for their FND symptoms. All right, so let's talk about what to do that is practical and you can prepare now for the holiday season. Speaking of now, these are the strategies. Nothing really is rocket science. However, the timing matters, meaning you just cannot learn these strategies now and then wait until the day of, let's just say, traveling or family visiting and things like that, or even like the day before or the moment of. That's almost like a drop in the bucket. When there is a fire, you kind of need to do anything and everything you need to do to put out the fire. However, can you prevent the fire from getting bigger? Well, you can do the surveillance, and you can do, there are so many things that you can do to prepare for it. So really, that's the thing. And I am teaching these skills and strategies, tactics. So what that means, it takes time for anyone to build those strategies and skills to master. It's not just a one and done. I hear this from teens, sometimes, that they're like, yeah, I did this like relaxation strategy once or twice at bedtime when I couldn't go to sleep. and it didn't work out. So I got to do something else. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm so glad you tried, right? And second, what were you expecting? Like, what did you expect that using this strategy once or twice is going to magically take care of the thing that you're having difficulty with? If you think about it from a different perspective, let's just say that you want to play soccer, but you never play soccer, and you practice once in your entire life and thinking that you're going to be professional the next day. Is that how it's going to work out? And every time I use this analogy, every athlete that I talk to, they're like, what are you talking about? That is not going to happen. Dream about it, right? And I'm like, well, same thing here. The things that I am teaching is not a magic pill. It's not a quick magic potion. You have to learn and practice and master those skills. So it's not just one and done. So I digress a little bit, but it's really, really important for you to start now so you are preparing way in advance, starting with the right mindset. What is the right mindset I'm talking about here? Specifically speaking, are you coming from the place of fear? Oh my gosh, the holiday season coming. All these things are happening. I need to do something about it or else I'm going to be in disaster. Is that where you're coming from? Then no matter what you do the rest of this video, you're just going to might as well cancel out each other. Okay, so I talk about mindset all the time. And in fact, that is the very first thing right after learning what FND is in my online program, Teen FND Academy, because I have learned time and time again, if your mindset is not in the right place, nothing else is going to work really well. It's going to work a little bit, but what happens is the families do get frustrated. Like, well, yeah, I am doing all these things that you told me to do, but I'm not getting better. Like, okay, are you coming from the place of fear, or are you coming from the place of fixer, parents, or are you coming from the place of calm with strong belief system? This is what I'm going to do. I am going to master these skills no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes. Therefore, I am going to be in control of my body. That is very different from, oh my gosh, well, let's just see how it works. Like really half-baked sort of mindset, right? So start with the mindset. Just because you are preparing for the holiday season in this particular context doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be, oh my gosh, I have to do it or else. Then once again, you're doing the right thing, but not so much of the right mindset, right? So again, I like being prepared because that makes me feel like I'm in control. That mindset is better because it's a place of coming from, because it is coming from a place of confidence rather than I have to do this, I should do it, otherwise I am in bad shape or something like that. Or I know this helps me, and so I'm going to practice and I'm going to feel actually good about myself, right? So that's like a place of calm and confidence. So that's one thing. Number one, the right mindset. And number two, again, this is all about planning ahead of time, okay? And so the question is, what is the plan for the holiday for you guys as a family? Are you traveling? Is anyone else visiting? Or any changes in daily routine, right? So kind of plan ahead. And again, this is not just the parent's job to figure out. It is a parent's job to obviously do a lot of coordination, but you also need to involve your team, not so much of the decision making, but like invite them into the conversation, okay? So these are the things that we're thinking about, going to this place or that place, or maybe having this family member coming, or we can do just chill and relax, whatever, right? You can even also ask a teen, what would you like? Do you have any idea or thoughts? Forget the FND for now, but if you can choose anything, then what would you like to do? Maybe your teen wants to spend a night or do a sleepover at their friend's house or something, So you don't have to agree or adamantly disagree with what your teen wants, but it's okay to bring him in the conversation. This is like a brainstorm phase, okay? So that's number two. Step three is, what are you wanting to do regardless of FND? This actually involves both you as a parent and then also the teen. So are you going to cancel everything anyway because of FND? Or with or without FND, we're going to stay business as usual, or what? Right? So kind of like making up your mind, but again, think through those things. Step four, this is really important. Check where you are, meaning what is the current status and the functioning level of your team? Is it heavily unpredictable, which is usually the case? Or is it actually kind of getting better or not? Is there any pattern, or have you been working with FND specialists to begin with, because that is a whole different ballgame than not having anything, right? And or does your teen have any skills to manage the symptoms, right? Is it just a distraction with screen time or something? Or are they actually doing something to manage their symptoms, right? It may or may not work every single time, but what's under their belt right now, okay? Does your teen also know any triggers or warning signs, like when, where, what, who, kind of thing? And I'm not talking about why this happens, but like where does it tend to happen? When does it tend to happen? What time of the day? Particular situation or sensory input, so that would be what, and then who would be generally around when these symptoms happen, kind of thing. If it's all day, every day, well, then that's one thing, right? But it's just sort of like a go through the checklist, if you will. And then I'm just going to assume for the rest of the video that you are not working with FND specialists and that you have zero skills to manage the symptoms or awareness or triggers whatsoever. Okay. Then as a family, you want to decide if you want to do anything special to begin with for the holiday season. Big, small, medium, it doesn't matter. My suggestion, and this is not for you, but per se, but my suggestions usually to the people that I work with, are if you are so adamant and then important to do something special for the holiday season with the family, then I would say don't let FND hold you back. And no matter what the plan is, this is what I also suggest. Weigh the desire to have fun and create a memory versus lose the opportunity. And I cannot tell you which one is important over the other because every family situation is different. And some families do choose to just stay low key and not do anything, but they have something bigger planned later that year or 6-9 months down the road or something like that, right? So it's not like a completely off the table, or they would choose to do something medium, like a day trip instead of like overnight trip or something like that, right? So this is like where the flexibility comes into play. And again, it really depends on no matter where the situation is, what is your priority? And again, if the priority is strictly coming from the place of fear, then I would say, are you as a family willing to challenge just a little bit? So that's one question. And if you're willing to challenge just a little bit, then is it important for you to challenge just a little bit? Or no, I'm just going to hunker down and we're going to stay, dormant. Is that important? And I'm talking about both short term and long term. Okay. So those are some tough questions to ask yourself because you really need to be honest with yourself, but also be mindful of what your teen would like to do as well. So that doesn't mean that you need to be like all full swing and then, well, there's nothing I can do. I'm just going to do whatever my teen says that she wants to do. Well, that may or may not be a great idea, depending on your teen's insight level, how much awareness does she have, all that kind of stuff, right? So again, it's not a one blanket statement, have fun no matter what, kind of thing. Well, I want you to have fun, but you know what I mean. So with that, if you're traveling, then I would say check if there is a room for flexibility. Like, are you driving? Are you flying? Or are you walking? Or whatever, right? So just kind of think about it. And if you're flying, then I actually have a video on my channel about that, sort of what to do during the holiday plan. This is more like a summer, kind of thing. But check my previous video about FND and traveling, okay? So again, a lot of things to think about, but that's part of the fun, And if the family is visiting, then you also can decide who you want to have versus not, okay? And also decide what to communicate with the visitors, people who are coming, and also what to communicate with the people who are not coming or not invited. And to communicate the visitors, speaking of which, about the condition of FND, and it's okay to set the boundary. So for example, number one, this is what I encourage families to do that I work with, educate what FND is. Like, they share some of my videos to their family members before they come, to visit or spend time, and what they can say or ask to the teen versus not. And once again, it is okay to have the boundary. And it is okay for you to have the boundary yourself as a parent. I'm assuming you're a parent, parents, that, you know what? I know you care about Jenny over here, my child, but we are exploring the treatment options or way to get better, stuff like that. So if the extended family members are trying to basically tell you, oh, you need to go see this Dr. Z, Dr. A, Dr. You know what I mean? All of these things. Or maybe you should try this supplement. And then have you looked at it? All of these things, it can be like kind of annoying, right? So it's okay for you to have the boundary. You know what? While we're in this house, let's just focus on having fun. No FND talk when we're here, kind of thing. It's okay. And in fact, it's actually helpful for the teen as well. Feel like normal, and talk about a plan during episode or not feeling well. And this is with you guys, along with teen and also other people. This is not the time for the extended family members to just calling 911 left and right, right? If you know that FND is not helpful or resolved by calling 911, okay? And so these are the things that you need to focus and think about and talk through. I will tell you that you don't really need to know everything ahead of the time, unless you know things ahead of the time. And when I say things, doesn't necessarily mean the plan, but like how your teen is going to act and react and then do well or not, that kind of thing, especially if it's unpredictable. So just know you know that, okay? But you can at least plan as much as possible. And then for teens, this is specific to teens, practice the autonomic regulation strategies regardless of what the plan is, okay? And I always like to say, you know what? It's okay. Make a coping kit. It can be literally a physical kit that you can have that helps you related to 5 senses or any reminders or mantra or anything in it, or you can just have a list of things that you like to do. So you can practice those on a regular basis on a good day, not until if you have to, okay? Or when you have to. And so you can have that as a muscle memory. And so you would need to think about what you need to do when you need to use these strategies, okay? And then during the holiday, if you're doing something out of the routine, then pace yourself. This is not the time to go, just because I want to feel like normal again. I hear you, I get it. And if that is worth it for you 100%, then once again, weigh what is a priority here, right? So I'm not telling you what to do. I am just making recommendations with the people that I worked with. That was helpful. And so pace yourself, to take a lot of mini breaks. It's okay to go to bathroom, 20, 30 times for no reasons, just so that you can have like out of commotion or something like that, right? So it's just set the tone. It's okay. And make up your mind. It kind of goes back to this, like the first thing of having the right mindset. Make up your mind that you're going to have fun no matter what. And this is the time that I generally don't recommend other times, which is a distraction. Distraction is really helpful and effective. It's good for a short term. It's not the solution, right? So in the long run, distraction doesn't really help. And however you want to define distraction as, it doesn't necessarily matter what you do. It's more about how you are thinking the thing that you're doing as, okay? So let's just say you can be, blowing bubbles, okay? And then you are telling yourself, I'm going to distract myself. This is a distraction. This is a distraction. Fidgety toys, it doesn't matter, right? Whatever you do. You can do the exact same thing. Oh, I love doing this slow breathing and blowing bubbles or pinwheel. And I love like silly putty and Play-Doh. And I love the sensation because that makes me feel really good. The thing that I just said is not coming from, I'm going to have to distract myself. It is more about semantic. And you're basically saying things to yourself. But remember, the whole point of resolving FND is to retrain your brain. How your brain gets retrained really starts from what you say to yourself. So in a funny way, watch your mouth, watch what you say to yourself, especially over and over and over again. Like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. Keep saying that and then see if you can actually do it. Right? If that helps you to increase your self-confidence and just like, yes, courage and brave, all of that stuff. Great. Generally, it doesn't work that way. Okay. But so make up your mind that you're going to have fun no matter what. And then parents, I would say, do the exact same thing of what teens are going to be doing. So basically, you're going to be the model. Practice autonomic nervous system regulation strategies yourself. You are basically feeding off of any energy that you have onto your child. So whether you like it or not, might as well use that to your advantage. See, this is why parents, you are the secret weapon. You're not the problem, you're the solution, okay? And you also pace yourself, and you also make up your mind that no matter what, you're gonna have fun. And it's not just you telling that to your child, yeah, I'm gonna practice this. Yeah, we're gonna have fun no matter what, right? No. You do it. You tell after you show. So you show and tell, okay? So lead by example, basically. It's all about actions. You are basically showing how it's done. So again, there is absolutely no perfect plan or complete avoidance of FND symptoms. However, it's okay to prioritize a short-term fun just a little bit versus long-term recovery if that is so special for your family during this particular holiday season, like off of daily routine here and there, off sleep wake schedule and cycle, and use of assisted devices. I generally don't recommend that for the long-term solution. Not going to help. But if that is one thing that is missing for your child to have fun and feel like normal again for this one day or this 1 week or however many days, then I would say if that's worth for you, go for it. All right. And it's okay to, again, parents to lend a little bit extra help during this time. Normally, once again, in a long run, if you want to resolve FND, the more teens can do on their own, aka empowerment, so much better, so much higher odds of getting better. So parents, you kind of need to learn to back off, right? But this time, again, you don't just jump in, okay? You talk to your teen about what you can do to help your child and get the input from teen. And if the teen says, I don't know, then you can give us a couple options, like, do you want me to ask you if I feel like you're not doing well, or do you want me to just wait until you tell me? So those are the options you can talk through, right? Once again, parents, you don't need to know everything. And I don't even know everything either, okay? And I've been working with teens with FND for quite some time, but the treatment recommendations and guidelines and things continue to evolve because, again, FND is such a controversial diagnosis. I mean, it has been for a long time. And so there isn't any like one size fits all. Therefore, I am learning continuously, okay? But that is what I do with the families who are in my online program, Teen FND Academy. Every single week we meet and we talk about strategies that are not necessarily covered in this pre-recorded curriculum. The pre-recorded curriculum is basically the foundation of what you need to do to know how you get better. But each and every situation is different, right? And then like this holiday season, like what are some of the flexibilities that families can do? That kind of thing. Anyway, if this is something you're interested in and then really wanting to learn the skills and strategies, then you might be a good fit for my program. Click the link below to schedule a call to talk to me and see if you qualify for the program. Well, what is your plan, by the way, for the holiday season? Leave me a comment because I want to know. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.